If you close your eyes.
What is going on? I am here with a brand new YouTube video, and I'm not going to be editing the video that much. A little bit. You can already tell. I'll put text somewhere here and whatnot, but I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of editing because I feel like I record a lot of these videos and a lot of them don't get posted because I just take too much time editing. I'm just not an efficient editor, and honestly, this is a kind of video where I just need to post as soon as I can. So I'm going to pause for a quick moment to show you what I want to talk about in regards to Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. You could probably already tell by the title or the thumbnail, but let's just get into it. Okay, I am back. I am going to show you the cards. I'm going to talk about the new cards with the Fantastical Parade set. So, obviously, if you're not wanting spoilers, you probably aren't watching this video already, or you probably clicked away. But, anyway, let's just get into it. I am just gonna record in like one take, and I might do a little bit of editing, but it's not gonna be a whole lot. So if you need to watch this video on 2x speed, I'm not gonna be offended because I can imagine this is gonna be a long video. Okay, and I'll just have I have a lot to say, and yeah, I record a lot of these Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket videos, and a lot of times they don't get uploaded because I just take forever to edit and try to make them all perfect. But in reality, if I learned anything from a lot of people on TikTok and YouTube and other platforms, is to just post the content. Just post. Just post it. So that is a belated New Year's resolution I'm having. Because, I mean, we have 11 months left. So, a little bit over 11 months. So, you know, you can still make change even tomorrow. So, anyway, this is the grass type page. Let me open this in a new tab real quick, if this will load. Please load. Oh my goodness. It didn't... Okay, there we go, finally. Okay. Alright. Well, let's just scroll up here. So we got Ladybug, 6 HP, 1 attack for 1 colorless. Cool. We got Lady and Swift. I think we saw this in the trailer. This attacks... By the way... Oh. Sorry. This is the date. I forgot that it would refresh. But the set doesn't come out until 5 p.m. PST, which is weird. Usually it comes out at like 1 a.m. EST or something like that, or 2 a.m. But now it's releasing in the early evening or late, sometime in the evening. Kind of odd, but anyway. This damage isn't affected by weakness or by any effects to your opponent's Pokemon. Okay. Shuckle, Guard Press during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon takes -20 from attacks. I mean, it'll be kind of tanky, but I think it's kind of... I'm not too sure. We have an interesting, ability with Roserade. With 2 Grass Energy with Poison Ring that does 50 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon can retreat. That doesn't seem like too bad of an attack, honestly. And it essentially does 60 damage, unless it cannot get poisoned like an Arceus or whatever. So I feel like it's actually not a bad card. I guess I could give quick little tiers. So S tier is like essential, like you must have it. A is like it's pretty good. It's like, or sorry, it's really great. It's like really solid. Just maybe not S, but like it's pretty darn close. B, it's like it's a good card. C is like it's okay. It could be better, could be worse. D is like don't even bother, or it's like kind of niche. F is like a flop. With this, I'll say a C, maybe. I think it's alright. we'll see. I don't see a lot of people using it, but I think it's not terrible. If you really like Roserade, I think it's a good card. We have Cacturn. If your opponent's active has any damage, it does 60 more damage. That doesn't seem to have an attack, but it does take 3 energy, so... I don't know. We got this Chestnut for 2 grass, 2 colorless for Needle Lariat? Anyway, for 80 damage during your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack during your opponent's next turn, do 80 damage. Oh, wow. So it's like a Rocky Helmet on steroids, I guess. I mean, it takes a while to set it up, so... I mean, I don't know about this one. I mean, I think it's okay, but I might put this in D. Anyway, let's skip over to Vivillon. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned and asleep. For only 2 energy, does 60 damage. Not too bad. I mean, it's not gonna be greater like meta, I don't think, by any means, but you know, I think it's pretty good. So, well, when I say good, I mean good for a non-meta card, but I think I'd still put it like a C. Anyway, we've got a regular Buzzwole now. So we had Buzzwole EX, now we have a regular one. For 2 grass energy with Ground Beat, if your opponent has gone exactly 1 point, this attack does 40 more damage. I think this could have been a little bit better if it was like, if your opponent has gotten at least 1 point. I think this could have been a decent card to include, but besides that, it's kind of So, I don't know. We got Edgegloss, or Eldergloss, I can't read, with Float Up. You may shuffle this card, and I'll attach... Ooh, you know what? I mean, it could be a decent, like, stalling Pokemon. You may shuffle this Pokemon, and I'll attach cards into your deck. I don't think it's too bad, and it says you may, so you don't have to do this. So, I think it's actually not a bad stalling Pokemon, because it only needs 1 energy, and then you can set up other Pokemon, so... maybe it's not bad. I'll be optimistic and say it's like a B. I think it's good. 2-Mask Ogerpon. I recorded myself reacting to the trailer when it first came out, but it still hasn't been posted. I'll probably post it eventually, just because it'd be nice to clear some space. But anyway, 2-Mask Ogerpon, 130 HP. Each of your Pokemon that has any energy attached recovers from all special conditions. So this counters, like, Vivillon, it counters, like, Roserade, things like that. So I feel like it's actually a pretty good supporting Pokemon. It is kind of frail, but even if you're not going to use this with grass Pokemon, like, this isn't bad, like, just to have as, like, a support Pokemon. Although, granted, you're probably including Indeedee still as your support, but this is a good option, though, if special conditions become very meta. So, and then it has Energized Leaves, 60 plus HP. If the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon, is 5 or more, it does 60 more damage. So it could potentially do 120. So, not too bad. It considers both yours and your opponent's HP, so it's a different alternative to, say, like, Pokemon that have the Psychic attack, where it only focuses on your opponent's active Pokemon. Now it can focus on both. And yeah, I could do 120, not too bad, for only 2 energy. So I think, especially against all those megas that require a lot of energy, it's not bad. So yeah, each of your Pokemon has any energy, so not just grass, so any energy. So I think 2-Mask Ogerpon EX is definitely, like, the winner for sure, obviously, for grass Pokemon. Oh, this is a meme tweet that I made, because Gardevoir can just give all the energy Gengar EX needs. So, anyway, let's focus on the fire types. Okay, there we go. Alright, Alolan Marowak. Your opponent's Pokemon is active Pokemon is now burned. 2 fire. I mean, not bad. There's no big drawbacks. I mean, it's fine. I forgot. Yeah, Kiawe, I believe. Or no, I'm thinking of another supporter. I think this is it's okay. I think it's okay. Okay, next up we got Reshiram for 3 fire. Discard 2 and it does 110. I don't know if I'm really going to be using that, but okay. We got Pyroar with 2 fire energy for Heat Blasts. No drawbacks. 90 HP. Okay. Not bad, I guess. It's fine. It's not bad. We got the Fire Oricorio. I already forgot. I looked it up and I already forgot what it's actually called. My apologies, but it has for 1 fire Inspiring Dance, where during your next turn attacks used by your Pokemon do 20 plus damage, which isn't, I guess, I think it's a decent supporter fire Pokemon, because it kind of functions like a Giovanni in a way, like, you know, during your next turn, like, because it says used by your Pokemon, so it's not just by Oricorio, but just any Pokemon you have on the bench. So I feel like this is actually, like, not a bad... This actually... I haven't seen other people talk about any of the cards, really, so I'm trying to, you know, not go in with, like, any bias or any influenced takes. But I feel like this actually might be a decent... Like, this actually might be, like, at least an A. Actually, I'm not even kidding. Granted, I feel like fire Pokemon can already deal a whole lot of damage, but I mean, I don't know. If you need a little more oomph, we get to the only Fire EX card we have. Oh, I already forgot how you pronounce this. Blacephalon? Blacephalon? Something like that. With 1 fire energy, you can do Singe, where your opponent's Pokemon is now burned, or 3 fire energy for Pop Punk, where you do 140 damage, but you discard 3 fire. Now, granted, it does say 3 fire. Oops, sorry. Anyway, so you discard 3 fire. So, I mean, this isn't... I mean, it requires a bit of setting up, but I mean, you could use Magby, Moltres. I mean, I don't know. Are you really going to be using Moltres? Probably not. But, you know, you can Magby and just ramp it up like crazy. You know, at least because it's a basic, it takes up less space, so I don't know. I don't know how often you'd actually would use it, but I don't think it's terrible. And because it's an Ultra Beast, if you include... Oh, I forgot what the card is. I should have, like... Hold on. Okay, I should have had this website up before I recorded, but lesson for next time. But Celesteela, because it has the ability where you can switch your active Ultra Beast with one of your benched. So, you know, you get Sabrina or something, that's fine because you can just switch back. So, I don't know. Anyway, we got Cinderace. More Gen 8, that's cool. Well, not that last one, it's Gen... Anyway, but with 2 Fire Energy, you could do 120, but during your next turn, this Pokemon cannot attack. But granted, it says this Pokemon, keyword this. So, you could pair this with, say, Fire Oricorio, because it has no retreat cost. Or, I mean, you could pair this with a second Cinderace or what have you. So, I feel like this is still actually a decent card. I'll, you know, we'll say a B. Sure. We got Heartflame Mask Ogerpon, where you, with a fire and a colorless energy, it does 40 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, take 2 fire energy from your energy so... Wow. And attach it to one of your benched. Wow. And of course you're going to pair this with Will. Oh, okay. I think we actually might have some gems, actually, with the fire type. for this set. Huh. Okay. Like these, like, you know, the first couple I was like, you know, I'm overall actually, I don't know, we might, you know, don't be sleeping on the fire type. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are still going to use like Charizard and Entei, or sorry, Mega Charizard, you know what I mean. Or people might be using, I'm blinking, what's the other fire? Blaziken. Wow, that's embarrassing. I just blanked. But Mega Blaziken. But I think these could still be decent options actually. So I'm optimistic. All right, let's get into the water type. We've got a lot here. First of all, we got Alolan Ninetales EX. Heck yes, let's go. I'm so pumped. I mean, I've been like, it's cool to see the other Pokemon already getting picked for EX, but we love to see it. Actually, can I zoom in a little more? Can I zoom in a little more? Awesome. Okay, we got another one of those 60 HP, 1 energy for 20 with Alolan Vulpix, but Alolan Ninetales, it does 2 energy for 80 damage. I feel like it's almost kind of like a new baseline for like EXs and whatnot, but anyway, during your opponent's next turn, they can't take any energy from the energy zone to attach to their active Pokemon. So that could be kind of annoying. Now, like on paper, it seems like it'll be annoying and maybe powerful. Is it actually going to be that powerful in practice? We'll find out. We will find out. But I'm still excited to get this at some point and mess around with it. So I'm excited. Okay, we got Galarian Mr. Mime. And then Mr. Mime and Mr. Rhyme. Oh, okay. Flip 3 coins. I mean, you can maybe do 180, but like, it takes 3 energy to get. I don't really like that. Yeah, I feel like considering what month and what year this is, I'm just kind of whatever with these kind of attacks, and so yeah, I'm gonna pass. Sorry. Delibird. Flip box of surprises. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 70 damage to your opponent's active. If tails, heal 30 damage. I mean, I know it's Delibird we're talking about, but yikes. Also, this is gonna bother me, like, thematically, that Swampert is weak to electric. Hello, it's part ground. Why is it not weak to grass? Anyway, but we got Mega Swampert EX. Notice how we didn't get Mega Sceptile. A little bit sad, but we'll keep it moving. It's whatever. Anyway, let's look at the regular one real quick. For 150 HP, it could do 3 water. It can do 3. With 3 water energy, it could do 100 damage, and you discard a random energy from among the energy attached to all Pokemon. So it's kind of like the Gyarados from Mythical Island. Yes, the A1A set. And then Mega Swampert with 230 HP has Strong Arm Destroyer for 150 damage, but also 3 water energy still. And you discard 2 random energy instead of just 1. I mean, it could really screw you over in particular, so I don't know about this attack, honestly. I don't know. I feel like the standard for water type Pokemon is just so, like, it's so high because of like Suicune and regular Greninja, even Greninja EX. Like, the bar is so high, it's hard to reach. So I don't know. I'm excited to see Mega Swampert, but I feel like this might have been a bit of a letdown of an attack. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah. Okay. Let's look at the... Oh, Vanillix is another War Sweets Relay Pokemon. Okay. I don't have too much to say about it. I mean, I think it's alright. I mean, it could be a good kind of deck to use with those solo missions, but... And I mean, it can be good, kind of a competitive... It's like kind of a niche... It's like a niche kind of deck. It's not going to be the greatest of the greatest, but I mean, it could be interesting, you know, good YouTube content and whatnot. We got Cryogonal. With Frozen Lock, during your opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards. Okay, so it's kind of like Chingling, but it's on a baby. And it does 20 damage. And, okay. It's alright, I guess. Okay, let's look at Aurorus. Excuse me. Hail Prison. You discard 2 water energy from this Pokemon, but your opponent's active is now paralyzed. I don't know how to feel about this attack. 3 energy, only to do 90. I mean, yeah, you know, there are ways to ramp it with, like, Manaphy, but... Or Misty, but... I don't know. I feel like this could have been a little bit better, designed. Also, Amora? I rarely see Pokemon names out loud, so I apologize. But I feel like she should be able to paralyze Pokemon as well with Aurora Beam. So yeah. Sorry, my brain kind of lagged. Anyway, let's get into Dreadnought for 120 with 4 energy. I mean, 3 water into colorless. I mean, yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one either. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to bother with this one. Cramorant with Spit Out Shell. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's benched. I think it's actually not a bad Pokemon. It can set you up with Cyrus. So I think it's actually not terrible. It's not what I would initially go for, but I don't think it's bad either. Okay. Alright. Barraskewda. It just does 1 energy for 40. Okay, I mean, it's not that powerful. It's okay. And then we got the Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. With 1 water and 1 colorless. Hold on, I need water myself. I can flip a coin, and if hits, this attack also does 40 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay. I think it's fine. Not bad. I feel like I haven't been giving many letters. I'm kind of like, I don't know. So far, nothing has struck out as, like, too powerful. Like, there's been some good, like, noticeable, like, A and Bs, but nothing like, not like a strong A that it's almost an S or any S kind of tier cards at the moment. But it'll change at some point. Don't you worry. But let's get into Electric. We got another Pikachu. But this one, it can do 30 damage, but it does 10 to itself with Thunder Jolt. I think I'm just gonna get... If I had to use a regular Pikachu, I think I'm just gonna use the one that does 20. That's it. Just leave it at that. So, yeah. Alright. Let's get to Alolan Raichu. It has Surge Surfer. This is actually a decent ability now that stadiums are out. Or like a pretty good ability. If a stadium is in play, this Pokemon has no retreat costs. And with 2 electric, it can do 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. I don't think that's really, I don't think it's really bad. And there's also a card that helps out with Stage 1 Pokemon in particular that I'll get into. But anyway, we got Zapdos. 3 electric energy. 1 other Pokemon, either yours or your opponent's, is chosen at random 1 time, do 100 damage. So you could do 100 damage to one of your own Pokemon. That's it. Like, this might be one of the worst cards I think I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie. Like, maybe that's recency bias, but I think that's like one of the like Oh my gosh, like, you know, and it starts with a Z, so you know what? This is a great card to put in the Z tier, the Zapdos tier. Like, oh yeah, yoy. And Zapdos EX aged horribly. Like, oh yeah, yoy. Anyway, I got a bit mad, like, with how terrible that card is. Anyway, let's get into Plus Soul. With 1 electric energy, you can do 10 damage, flip a coin of heads, opponent's active is not paralyzed. Okay, alright. Buddy Spark, it pluses on your bench. This attack also does 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay. Seems fine. I guess not too bad. I mean, could set you up for Cyrus potentially. I don't know if I would still chase these though, but not terrible. And then we got Toxel. I kind of wish it also was one of those, like, 1 energy for 20, but whatever, we'll take it. We got Toxtricity EX. Pretty cool pick, I'm not gonna lie. Even though it's, I feel like I haven't played with or like interacted so much with this Pokemon, like it's not like one of my faves, but it like looks cool. It looks cool though. But it has 150 HP. Why did I say but? I mean, and. You know what I mean. With 2 electric and 1 colorless, it could do 90 damage, which doesn't sound too great, but it also does 30 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has damage on it. So I don't know if they're trying to like pair this with like Plus Soul and Minun. I mean, you could also pair this with like a Alolan Raichu, or actually you could pair this up with like Raikou. The thing is though, is like, because it has to have damage on it already, and this attack requires 3 energy, I don't know if it's actually that good of an EX. I'm trying to be optimistic, but I feel like it would take too long for it to set up to be like good. I don't know. Okay, and then we got Belly Bolt. It could just do 3 energy, 2 electric, and a colorless, and deal 80 damage. Okay, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about... I mean, it does have Tadbulb, so it can ramp it up a little quicker, but I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I think the only electric Pokemon that seems interesting out of all these is just the regular Alolan Raichu. So, yikes. Let's move on. Let's get into the Psychic type. Oh, this is gonna be very interesting, just because we got some very powerful Pokemon here. Oh, we got a Psychic version of Chandelure. Nice. Okay. Anyway, let's focus with Galarian Ponyta, Galarian Rapidash. Love to see that. Ooh. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, Galarian Rapidash might be a late game Pokemon. If you have... So it has 1... It needs to attack with 1 Psychic Energy with Photon Laser for 40 damage. But if you have 5 or more Psychic Energy in play, this attack does 60 more damage. So if someone's trying to hit you with that Oricorio, just get a bunch of Psychic Energy ready to go, and then bam. I mean, I don't think it's going to be... I don't know how meta this card in particular is going to be, but I mean, it is an interesting attack. So, I don't know. And I like this line. So, anyway. We got Wobbuffet. Flip over for 80 damage. It also does 10 to itself. And it requires 3 energy. I don't know about that. Alright, and then we got Gramble. Man, I kind of forget, for some reason, like once a month until a new set comes out, that, wow, so many cards just don't have really great attacks and are just kind of filler, unfortunately. Gramble, 120 HP, 3 Psychic specifically for 90 damage. I don't know how to feel about that. I also don't know what's the point of having 2 colorless for the basic version, and then the evolved version has 3 Psychic. Like, you know, I don't... Like, why 2 colorless, and then when you evolve, your attack has 3 Psychic, no color... I think that's kind of stupid, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's get into what I think might be a very interesting, interesting row here. Well, I mean, Ludwig's kind of, at least you can Lucia pick this card up. But anyway, Ralt's another one with Confuse Ray. I don't know if this is the card that the version of Ralt I'd be using, but it's there. It's fine. I think I've just get past though, I'm not gonna lie. But unfortunately, the artwork, clearly it's like a progression kind of thing, so for visual aesthetic sake, it's like, man, maybe I should just get all of them. But anyway, Curlia, with psychic, with one psychic, it does 20 damage. With Side Beam, your opponent's active is now confused. And then we got Side Turbo, the regular Gardevoir, with 130 HP. Take 2 Psychic Energy from your Energy Zone and attach it to one of your bench Psychic Pokemon. Okay, not bad. Not bad already on its own. But then we get the Mega Gardevoir. It's a really good support Mega EX. With 2 Psychic Energy, could do 110 damage. Pretty good for only 2 energy. And you can take 3 Psychic Energy from your Energy Zone and attach it to any of your Psychic Pokemon in any way you like. Hence why I said hello Gengar EX. Realistically though, I don't think this is going to work. It's going to take a while because these are 2 Stage 2 lines that we're talking about, so kind of unfortunate, but it's still funny to talk about and meme about. And it only has 1 energy retreat cost, so I think it's a good Psychic Mega EX. I do think Mega Altaria is still going to be pretty good though, but at least with Mega Gardevoir, you don't have to rely on a full bench. So, sorry, ignore that. I should have closed this. Let me do that. Okay. I already talked about Litwick. So let's look at Chandelure. Chandelure. Anyway, 2 Psychic Energy with Past Friends. This attack does 20 more damage for each supported card in your discard pile. Huh. Okay. I wonder if you could pair this with, like, Chevali. I don't know if that would work. Like, too much room or whatever. Or, like, not enough room, but okay. I mean, this could stack up because only one... Because it does 60... I feel like it's actually not a bad... It's actually not a bad non-EX attacker, actually. Not bad. I guess my problem is that I feel like there's already a bunch of other good Psychic Pokemon that I feel like it'd be good if this came out earlier, in an earlier set, but I feel like it's already going to get kind of overshadowed. But I do like Chandelure getting a Psychic version. We got Meloetta with 70 HP. Strange Singing. At the beginning of your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, put a random Psychic Pokemon from your deck into your hand. Oh, this is the beginning of your turn. Interesting. Okay. So Meloetta has to be at the start. I guess you can put a giant cape or Rocky Helmet or something like that to kind of make it a little bit tankier. But yeah, this is definitely a card you're probably going to have to sacrifice. It's like a sacrificial lamb, so that way your other Psychic Pokemon can flourish. But it can attack for 50 damage with 2 Psychic. It's alright. But I do like the ability. I think it's an interesting ability. I don't know how often it would get used, but I feel like it's not too bad. Okay. Alright, and then we'll get to Mimikyu in a second. We got, oh gosh, Gorgeist? Gorgeist? I think it's Gorgeist. Like it's a disguising Gore. Anyway, with 1 Psychic Energy, it could do Soul Shot for 70. Discard a card from your hand. Okay, so it's kind of like that Sableye from Mega Rising. I don't know about that one. Okay, Mimikyu. For 120 HP, with the Disguise ability, when this Pokemon is first damaged by an attack, after coming into play, prevent that damage. I think it's a decent stall Pokemon. That's cool. I don't know. I mean, I think it has some use maybe in the meta. I'm just trying to visualize, like, what would be Mimikyu's role, I guess, and, like, how would you fit it with 19 other cards, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's a good ability, but I don't know. I'm trying to think if it's actually going to be meta. I mean, I think it could be decent. I think it could be a decent card. I'm not too sure, though, like, how it fits, because there's just, I feel like, so many other psychic Pokemon and other psychic cards to have, so I don't know. It can attack for 70 with 2 psychic energy. Okay. But yeah, I'm not too sure. Anyway, we got Poltegeist. Names, let me tell you. Refreshing D. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may have your opponent shuffle their hand into their deck for each remaining... Oh! Oh wow, so this is some Mars. Okay, so it's basically Mars for each remaining point that your opponent needs to win, they draw a card. Okay. So wow, we got Mars. I mean, it's an interesting ability. Are we going to see it that often, though? Probably not. We got a regular Indeedee with 80 HP with 3 Psychic Energies. It's kind of a lot. But it could do 70 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Is this supposed to be paired with Mega Gardevoir? I'm not too sure. Maybe. I mean, it could. But 70 damage to one of your opponent's bench. Maybe this was 70 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Maybe maybe this would be a good, not a bad card, but I'm not too sure. I think it's still a fine card. How often would people actually use it? I doubt it would be that often, but anyway. Gosh, I've been recording for so long. I hope everyone's sticking with me. Alright. Fighting Pokemon. Alright. Oop. Okay. Alright. We got another Sandshrew and Sandslash. Yikes. I hate this attack already. Flip 3 coins. This attack does 30 damage for each heads. I mean, you only need 1 fighting energy, so, I mean, I think it's fine. But, I don't know. I feel like these kind of, like, flipping coin attacks is, I don't know. To me, it's just kind of whatever. Now, we do have a very interesting card, at least in my opinion, next to it. Because stadiums are coming into play, we have a Machop with only 1 colorless energy. It only attacks for 10 damage, but you discard a stadium in play. I feel like that's not bad if you don't plan on including stadiums yourself, but you don't want your opponent to be using stadium cards. I don't know. I feel like this not bad. I feel like I would be, if I really wanted to play with like Machamp, like maybe I'd get this. I feel like it's not a bad. It's an interesting ability, so interesting and an interesting attack. Oh, this is gonna be a bit annoying though. With Machamp, this new Machamp with only 2 fighting energy, you can do 80 damage and discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's gonna be kind of annoying. Hopefully people don't play this that much, cause but you only need 2 fighting energy. This actually might be a decent like fighting Pokemon, and also just a decent like non-EX attacker. Granted, I do feel like there are a bunch of other fighting Pokemon that are like still good. Like I still see people using like Lucario from Space Time Smackdown. A lot of people are using Mega Lopunny EX. I still see some people using freaking Rampardos, which, gosh, I hate that card. So, I don't know, but I think it's an interesting option. And if you like annoying your opponents, then go with that. Alright. We got... we don't have a regular Marowak. Nope, we just have the Cubone. Okay. Cool. We got Medicham. Psychic. Ha 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 ha. If this Pokemon has any Psychic Energy attached, its attack does 50 more damage. Okay. So you need to implement Psychic and Fighting. because of the randomness, you might just be only stuck with like one type of energy for, you might be stuck with only psychic or only fighting. So maybe you have to throw in like colorless Pokemon, maybe. I'm not too sure. But anyway, we got, we have, this is our fighting type EX with Gigalith EX. It has 190 HP, very tanky. With 4 fighting energy, though, that's going to take a while to set up. I don't know how to feel about that, but with Megaton Cannon, or Megaton Cannon? Megaton? Whatever. This attack does 140 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. During your next turn, this Pokemon cannot attack. I mean, you could pair this with the Heavy Helmet, and it can, it's quite tanky, but I don't know how to feel about this attack and setting it up. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how to feel about that. Okay. I feel like it's sad because I'm like, oh, it's an interesting pick for an EX, but I feel like it's, not a great attack, so. Anyway, we got a Drillbur, okay. We got Tyrantrum, with Tyrannical Fang, 3 fighting energy, it deals 100 plus damage. If you have fewer Pokemon in play than your opponent, this attack does 80 more damage. I mean, I guess this could be interesting, could be alright. I mean, it's going to take a bit to set up. I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, it's an interesting attack, but I don't know. Anyway. Excuse me. Passimian. With 1 fighting energy for Fling, it can do 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay, another kind of bench attacker. They're kind of including a couple more bench attackers. And we'll see why in just a moment. I forgot if this is Phalanx? One of those two. It has Coordinated Unit, where if you have another Phalanx in play, this Pokemon's attack does 20 more damage to your opponent's active, and this Pokemon takes negative 20 damage from your opponent's active. So I feel like this is actually not bad, because with 1 fighting energy, you essentially could do 40 damage, and if you pair this with like Oricorio, or sorry, if you pair this with Giovanni, you can then one-shot Oricorio because it'll do 70 damage, provided it doesn't have like Giant Cape. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting, kind of basic, only 1 energy to attack. Not terrible. It's an interesting ability. We have then Cornerstone Mask Ogre with 1 fighting and 1 colorless, can do 40 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes a negative. That is a very interesting ability. Being able to take negative 100 damage. I don't know if I've seen in a secondary effect like that before. Negative 100 damage from attacks is kind of crazy. But you know what? I get it. Maybe you're going up against a really big EX or something like that. It can like just shrug it off if you flip heads. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. You probably would need to pair this up with Will, though, if you want to mess around with it. Granted, I'm really trying to think about, are there any really chase cards with the fighting, with this fighting type? Unironically, maybe the Machamp line, and maybe Passimian, maybe Phalanx. I think that's it. Actually, I mean, just compared to other types, this type's kind of. Alright. Let's get into the Dark type. Oh, this is going to be fun. And you'll see why. I haven't looked at these, though. Alola Meow, Swagger. Flip a coin. If heads, just kind of random energy. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's great. Love that. And then Alolan Persian with 4 damage. Yeah, whatever. Let's get into this one that I did see. Alolan Muck. Basic Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's, have no abilities. So it counters Oricorio, it counters Phalanx, it counters Zeraora. It counters... Oh, it also counters Teal Mouse Gogor Pontiacs because it's basic. So it can counter a good amount of Pokemon, actually. I mean, those are only a few, but... Oh, it counters all the legendary dogs, or beasts, or whatever you want to call them, like Suicune, Raikou, Entei EX. It counters that ability. It counters Indeedee. It actually counters a lot of Pokemon. So maybe this, just for this ability alone, this actually might be a pretty good chase card, because there's basic Pokemon in play. Meaning, Alolan does not get affected by this ability because this is stage 1. So unironically, this actually might be a really, like, a chase card. Out of all Pokemon, Alolan, you know, good for him. Alright, now this line. I don't even hate this line necessarily, but good lord. Galarian Zigzagoon, kind of another one of those 60 HP, attack for 20, cool. This is also, I feel like, a bit of a standard, like stage 1 with 80 HP, attack for 40. Oh, but the stage 2 has 150 HP, kind of tanky, for a non-EX, and with only 2 dark energy with Merciless Strike. It attacks for 70 damage, but if your opponent's active Pokemon has damage on it, it could do 50 damage, which 2 energy, potentially for 120 damage, especially on a non-EX, is quite powerful, but that's not even the worst. That's not even the worst part of this. We'll get into this later. Hold that thought of Galarian Obstagoon. Hold on to it, okay? Alright, we got Stunky, okay. Skunk Tank, let's look at it. With 3 energy, 2 dark, and a colorless, it can do 70 damage. During your opponent's next turn, if the defending Pokemon tries to use an attack, your opponent flips a coin. If tails, it doesn't happen. So it's kind of like a weaker version of, oh gosh, what's it called? Hold on, Magnezone. What's the attack called? Mirror Shot. But in some ways, I feel like it's this is going to be the better version because, well, one, it's like tankier, but also because it's Magnezone, it evolves from Magneton. You could just use that one Magneton that has the ability where it could just ramp up electric energy. There isn't really kind of version for dark types yet. Like, really, I don't think there really is a way to ramp up dark type energy, so this is kind of just a worse Magnezone. I don't know if I could get this, honestly, like, seriously, but anyway. We got Spiritomb, 70 HP, has Final Scream. If this Pokemon is an active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, do 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. I guess it could be kind of annoying. It's a good kind of little wall thing, and then you could also put a cape or a Rocky Helmet or something else on it. So I think it can be kind of annoying to, like, deal with. And then you're forced to kind of if you don't want to deal with this ability, you can either have your own Alolan Muck, or you could use Repel or Sabrina or something like that. Or you could just use a Pokemon that attacks on the bench, not the active. But I think it's still a decent card that maybe you should try to pick up. Okay, we got this Purloin with Whiny Voice. Flip a coin if heads, look at a random card from your opponent's hand and shuffle into their deck. I guess it can be a little bit annoying to kind of slow your opponent down, especially if they randomly pick, like, a really good card. I think it's fine. We've got Liepard with 90 HP, Fasten Claws with only 1 dark energy. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 30 more damage. It's okay. Honestly, I would maybe I'd just include just the Purloin and not the... well, hold on. Do we have other Liepards? Okay, we have a few. Maybe you could use this Liepard from Crimson Blaze. Maybe. And then, what are the other ones? Hold on, let me look here. This one just 40. Okay. And then, maybe if you want to use it to actually attack, maybe use this one for Meavy Grove. Maybe. But, Yeah, I don't know if I would use this one. Okay, we got a few more. We got Scraggy and Scrafty. Crush the Weak. What a interesting attack name. With 2 Dark Energy. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Psychic. Anyway, Crush the Weak. 50 plus damage. If this Pokemon, wow, has more energy attached than your opponent's active Pokemon. If this Pokemon has more energy, this attack does 50 more damage. I mean, I guess this could be fine. I mean, Pokemon that have like the psychic attack, like Indeedee or Alolan Raichu, are probably gonna counter this though. I mean, I guess Indeedee is weak to dark Pokemon, so I guess maybe it's a matter of like who attacks who and who gets the energy first or whatever. It's an interesting attack, but I feel like it's very easy to counter though. We got Yveltal. Yeah, with 120 HP, with 3 Dark Energy. Oof. Evil Crash, 90 damage. Discard a random energy from both active Pokemon. Ooh. Yeah, I'm sorry, this card's kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, we have Guzzlord. Oh, this is gonna be annoying, because it's an Ultra Beast. Remember that. So, cards like Lusamine work with this card. It's a regular Guzzlord with 3 Dark and a 3 Dark and a Colorless. Why do I keep wanting to say Psychic? Oh my gosh. With Break Core, excuse me, flip a coin. If heads, discard your opponent's active Pokemon. Wow, that is not a troll card at all. Like, I just keep thinking of all these, like, flip a coin if heads. It's like, okay, we're using Will, then what happens? You know what I mean? So, I mean, this could, like, result in, like, winning or losing automatically. I mean, it takes a while to set up, of course, but good lord, that's... Oof. I feel like it's still going to be... I don't think it's going to be, like, meta or anything, but it's going to be, like, good, like, YouTube content. Anyway, we'll move on. Are there any good picks? I mean, Alolan Muck, unironically, maybe Alolan Meowth. Gonna be a little bit annoying. I don't know about Spiritomb, maybe Spiritomb. Oh, of course, Galarian Obstagoon. That's kind of like, I feel like the main Dark type winner, but there's a few decent options. All right, but Galarian Obstagoon just stands out, strikes out, and again, you'll see why. I promise. All right, let's get into the Metal and Dragon types. So we got Alolan Meowth, now we got Galarian Meowth, and then we got Galarian Berserker. I feel it's a good ability, and we'll also see why in a moment, or in a bit. With Dig Up, once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to one of your Pokemon, you may put 2 random Pokemon tool cards from your discard pile into your hand. I feel like alone, if we had more than 20 cards in the deck, this would alone be a good support card, because, you know, Guzma can discard a bunch of your tool cards, so then you can just get them back. But it's good in some other ways. Okay, think about like all the berries that kind of you can actually use some berries and like use them and then eventually use them again. That's one way. And again, there's a new tool for this set that we'll talk about. We got a regular Mawile with a metal and a colorless that does 50 damage. Okay, whatever. It's fine, I guess. Mega Mawile, it has 170 HP, and for one metal and 1 colorless, it can do Heat Up Crunch for 60 damage. Until this Pokemon leaves the active spot, this Pokemon's Heat Up Crunch attack does 30 damage disaffect stacks, which is kind of crazy. But, I mean, granted, because it's a basic, you can use Repel or Sabrina, or attack one of their bench Pokemon, use Cyrus. So, I mean, I don't think it's too powerful of an EX, I don't think, unless there's a way to, like... I mean, I guess if you just use Mega Mawile, that could be an issue. Like, only Mega Mawile, that's it. But, you know, and then I guess you'd have to have one more Pokemon for, like, to deal with Oricorio, right? Or just some kind of other way to deal with Oricorio, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's still going to be a good, decent card. I think I'm kind of underplaying it a little bit because, again, if you're only using Mega Mawile, like, you know, if you have, like, a 17 trainer type of deck or something like that, then I think this could be actually kind of a strong Pokemon, maybe. So if you like Mega Mawile, this might be your card. I think it's actually, like, a good attacker. So I feel like I'm kind of underselling it, but trust me, I think it's actually a good card. Unless you're going up against fire Pokemon, then I don't know. It takes a while to set up, so maybe you have a decent shot. But anyway, oops, whoops, hold up. Okay. All right, we got Excadrill. Okay, 2 metal and a colorless for 80. Yikes. We got Ferrothorn with a metal and a colorless for Pummel. 40 damage, flip a coin, does 60... Okay. I mean, it only needs 2 energy to attack, but I think it's whatever. Galarian Stunfisk with a metal and a colorless Snapping Trap. Does 40 damage. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, when your opponent's active Pokemon retreats... So hold on, wait. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon's in the active spot. When your opponent's active Pokemon retreats, this attack does 40 damage. Okay, so it basically is like, well, you can retreat, but the new Pokemon's gonna get dealt 40 damage. I think it's okay. Anyway, it's fine. Let's see. Let's just jump into Aegislash. Has 140 HP for 3 metal, so, you know, might take a bit to set up, but Superb Shield for 80 damage. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes negative 80 damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX. I mean, it's good against other EXs, but, like, what if you're going up against a deck that's not using EX? Then this kind of sucks. So, I mean, I guess you maybe would pair this with, like, a basic... I guess maybe pair with Mega Mawile, I guess? Maybe that's what they're trying to do? I'm not too sure. I can maybe see that. Or some other basic, you know, like, other attacker. If I had to guess right off the bat, and again, maybe this is recency bias, but I guess the Aegislash line plus Mawile, I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of situational. It's an interesting attack, though. But anyway, we got the Salamence line for a fire, a water, and a colorless energy. Has 150 HP for Dragon Dive. It deals 150 damage. Flip a coin. If tails, it does 50 to itself. Yikes. Now, I will say, you'd have to pair this with, you know, this can now be paired with Druddigon, because it requires only fire, water, and whatever else energy. So I guess it could be a good partner, so you can have Druddigon. I can't believe I'm actually saying Druddigon, like the revival of Druddigon, but it can, you know, you can have Druddigon in the active, set up Salamence, and then, you know, put some wills just to make sure you don't get hurt. Or, I mean, you could do pair this with Lulies as well, because this is stage 2. So, yeah, I don't know. If you like Salamence, not Salamence, Salamence, I think it's not too bad of a card. So, all right. Next up, we got the normal type, or the colorless type, whatever you want to call it. We got a regular Meowth with 50 HP, so you can get Lucia with this. That's nice. Carefree Steps. If any damage is done to this Pokemon by attack, flip a coin. If heads, prevent that damage. Okay. Interesting ability, but, like, I don't know. I'm not too sure how to feel about it though. I mean, I think it could be fine, I guess. I don't know. And then it has, with one colorless energy, feeling fine, draw a card. Okay. And then with 2 colors, it could do 60 damage when it's Persian. I think it's okay. I don't know how to feel about it yet. It's kind of... alright, we got Kangaskhan, 110 HP with 3 colorless. It can do Steady Punch. For 60 damage, flip a coin. If heads, it does 30 more damage. Again, I feel like it will take a while to set up. But because it is a basic, you can pair this with the Elemental Babies, which are Manaphy, Pichu, and Magby. And you could just ramp up energy that way because it's a basic. So I think it's alright if you really like Kangaskhan. I think it's not bad. Mega Kangaskhan EX, 180 HP, and for 3 colors it can do Double Punching Family, which does 80 damage, and the attack is used twice in a row. The second attack does 40 damage. I mean, it doesn't really pack a big punch. I mean, I guess it technically does do 120. It just attacks twice. So if you're attacking maybe, say, like a more frail, like 80 or less HP Pokemon, you knock that out, and then you can start doing a little bit more damage to another Pokemon. So it's an interesting attack. And because it has 3 colors energy for the Retrieve, you can then pop the Heavy Helmet to make it kind of tanky. So I don't think it's too bad of a Mega. So I like Mega Kangaskhan's design, so nice to see it get an EX. Alright, let's look at... okay, I don't like this version. Anyway, let's look at Ferret. Oh, it only does 1 energy for 40. Okay. Alright, we got Smeargle with Portrait. Once in your turn, if this Pokemon's in the active, you may look at a random supporter card from your opponent's hand, use the effect of that card as the effect of this ability. Not gonna lie, it's kind of a goofy ability, but granted, you know, it's kind of like, it's almost like Penny, but as an ability. So, yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. Gonna be honest with you. I don't know how to feel about it. Okay. Let's look at Lugia. Regular Lugia with 4 colors energy. I'm feeling like I'm, like, going insane. Anyway, just a lot of reading and talking a lot at once. But anyway, with 4 colorless energy, it could do 80 damage. Flip 2 coins. It does, the attack does 40 more damage for each heads. Again, it's going to take a bit to set up, even though it's a basic. Even if you pair it with the Elemental Babies, it's still going to take. Oops, sorry. It's still going to take a while. So I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know. Let's look at Taillow and Swellow. It has Repelling Wind. Once during your turn, you may switch out your opponent's active basic. Oh. Opponent's active basic. Oh, if this is opponent's active Pokemon, then maybe it's not bad, but... Oh, okay, so it's literally just Repel as an ability. I mean, I don't know, realistically, if you're gonna be using this, so I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like it's kind of a whatever ability. Alright. Let's get into... Hold on. I feel like Okay. Excuse me. Let's get into Slacking. It has 160 HP. Snoozing Habit. I mean, it kind of makes sense thematically. As long as it spoke once in the active spot, whenever you attach an energy from your energy zone to it, it is now asleep. Which, I mean, I don't know. If you need to attack, just, you know, excuse me, just use Pokemon Center Lady or the, oh god, what is it called? Oh no, what's it called? I forgot. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Big Malasada. I forgot what it was actually called, but it can heal 10 damage and then removing random special conditions. So if it's asleep, you can just use that and wake it up. So, excuse me. I mean, and then it could do, I mean, it's not actually, I mean, it actually is a decent attack. 3 color synergy for 150. Actually is not bad. It's actually kind of good. It's kind of better than most EXs, I feel like. So, I don't know. So maybe, you know, slacking, you know, don't sleep on slacking. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, cut slacking a bit of slack, maybe. Sorry, those were bad jokes. But yeah, I could discard a random energy. I mean, I feel like it's not terrible, though, honestly. So, yeah. And also, you could just attach energy with slacking on the bench, because as long as this Pokemon's in the active spot. So, yeah, just attach energy to slacking initially, and then you can use your Big Malasada or Pokemon Center Lady to heal it later on. So, yeah, I don't know. This actually might not be a bad... And you could also put the heavy helmet on because of its higher retreat cost. So, I think this is actually not a bad attacker. Low-key. Alright, Spinda with 70 HP. Ooh. Oh, wow. And Spinda's actually, like, a pretty good, like, basic for 1 energy. It's kind of, it's... Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's... Wait, this is... Do you see this? This is literally a better Farfetch'd. Literally a better Farfetch'd. They both deal 40 damage with 1 energy, except you have the ability to make... Oh, never mind. I forgot. This Pokemon is now confused. I mean, okay, you can use... My bad, I can't read. But you can use Pokemon Center Lady if it's really that bad. You can also retreat, because Confusion is a little bit weaker in this game compared to the regular trading card game in terms of if you fail to attack, you don't do damage to yourself in TCG Pocket, and you can also retreat without having to flip a coin, unlike TCG Live or the regular TCG. I mean, I feel like it's a fine trade-off. I mean, okay, so maybe you probably use Farfetch, but because this is a fighting type, or like it's weak to fighting type, this is fine to pair up, like, again, like as a, you know, I mean, it's going to take 2 shots, but, you know, it's good to attack right off the bat, in general, and, you know, it could 2-shot, like, you know, Oricorio, so... I mean, I don't think it's too bad, like, so, and yeah, it's a little tinkier, but yeah, I think it's actually not too bad of a card. I feel like if you like using Farfetch, I mean, granted, I don't feel like a lot of people use it, but, you know, I'm just saying, Spinda could have been, you know, if this was released several sets earlier, I think could have been an actual, like, decent card. I feel like it can still be decent, but maybe just going insane because I've been recording for so long. Anyway, Tornadus with 90 HP with 2 colors energy with blow through. If a stadium is in play, it does 40 more damage. Ooh. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Not bad. Not bad, actually. Okay, not bad, not bad. Alright, we got Diggersby. I think that's how you say it. I hope I got that right, because I'm literally using this Pokemon in Pokemon Legends EA. Because why not? Anyway, it has 2 colors energy, it does 70 damage, but it also does 10 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. Yeah, I have to pass, I'm really sorry. We got another Furfru? Yes. Once again, it takes 20 less damage from attacks, but this time it can attack with 3 energy with Hammer N. I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, this seems like the worst one. I mean, I mean, it won't take too long to set it up, so it could do 70 damage with no drawbacks, but I don't know. I think it's okay. I'll probably also try to get this if I can. Hopefully it won't take me too long to get it, but still. Alright, and then we got Tandem Mouse and Mouse Hold. Wow, it has a good startup attack. Is that the right phrase? Startup attack? Like, a good setup attack. With Flock. Put 3 random cards from among Tandem Mouse and Mouse Hold onto your bench. So literally, you could just have 1 Tandem Mouse, use this attack, and then get your 2nd Tandem Mouse, and then your 2 Mouse Hold. That is actually hilarious. Like, actually kind of a good card. And then we have Mouse Hold with Family Beatdown. Flip a coin for each Tandem Mouse and Mouse Hold you have in play. This attack does 6 damage for each heads. I'm very confused though. When it says for each Tandem Mouse and Mouse Hold, does that... So like... Okay, say you have your 2 Tandem Mouse that are both evolved into Mouse Hold. Does that mean that you flip 4 coins total, or do you flip 2? You know what I mean? Because does Tandem Mouse in play, like, it gets evolved, so does that count? I don't know. I mean, for 1 energy, though, if you have the potential to do 120 damage, that's not terrible. But, you know, because it's a, flipping coin attack, you could potentially do none. So, once again, you better have will. Okay, now we got a bunch of shinies here. We got this hip. We got some kind of decently well-known ones. We got Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee. We got Clefairy Clefable all the way back from, I believe, Genetic Apex. We have... we got some other ones. We got these, the 2 evolutions from Eevee Grove. I mean, we got a lot of stuff, but I won't go through everything. We got the Elemental Babies. We got Magby here. We got Pichu, and we also got... Oops. Okay, I can open the booster pack. And we got Mantike. So that's cool. And then we also have shiny Espeon Umbreon. We have shiny Donphan. Oh, we also got the shiny Tyrogue. So we have 4 babies. I guess to make it... I don't know. I wanted to make it even. We have... I'm sorry. And then shiny Lugia, shiny Donphan, shiny Ho-Oh, shiny Kingdra. So, not bad. And I like... With shinies, it's just a surprise 6 card. So, I'm glad they changed that. So, that's pretty cool. Pretty nice. Alright. Now, let's get into... Well, okay. I won't go through these too much, but we have all these kind of cool, different kind of full arts and whatnot. I like this one a lot. Like, Ninetales looks great. I love this one. These are cool, yeah. I always like these full arts, although it can kind of get annoying when you get a bunch of these 1-stars. Like, you already have a bunch of these. It's like, can I get something else? But it's pretty good. I like... Oh, that one's kind of cool. It's kind of cute. Ooh, that one looks nice. Cool. That one's kind of funny looking. Ooh, that one looks tough. Looks tough. Interesting that this Meowth is the immersive. Or, like, one of the immersives. Interesting. Meloetta is one of our gold, like, crown cards. Okay. And Gardevoirs. I like this immersive. Looks nice. Okay. Cool. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Let's get into... Whoops. Alright. Now let's get into... In my opinion. I think, like, sure, the Pokemon is all nice, but the items, the supporters, the stadiums now, all that type of stuff, the tools... That is, like, in my opinion, like, the meat and potatoes of every set. In my opinion. I mean, yeah, the Pokemon can change everything, but I think the item cards are so important, and it can also change a lot. And I feel like it changed a decent amount. Let's get into it. Well, we got the Jaw Fossil, Sail Fossil. Okay, yeah, whatever. We also have the Lucky Ice Pop, which I feel like is an interesting item card. You heal 20 damage, but it's from your active Pokemon. So it's not like a potion where you could heal 20 damage from any card or any of your Pokemon. It's only from your active. But you could flip a coin, and if it's heads, you could just use it back into your hand instead of your discard pile. So you could potentially, if you're lucky enough, and because it's an item card, you can pair this with Will. I keep always thinking about like, Will, you can pair this with Will and just, like, you can already guaranteed to heal 40 damage at least for your active. So Lucky Ice Pop might not be too bad. I mean, I don't know realistically how often people are going to be using this card, but I think it's a cool, different kind of healing item card. So I do like that. Alright. The tools. Let me tell you, there's something else. They are something else. First off, as you can see here, we have Protective Poncho. As long as Pokemon this card's attached to you is on your bench, prevent all damage done to your Pokemon by your opponent's attacks and abilities. That is a very powerful tool card, and even more people, like, we might be actually seeing a rise in Guzma users, because I feel like Guzma was used for a decent bit, and then I feel like a lot of people stopped using it, or like you'd see it once in a while, but not that often. But Protective Poncho, this counters Greninja. This counters all those other cards where you attack one of your bench Pokemon. Protective Poncho, granted, I don't know like how, like where to fit it, but it's a good tool card. Like, it is really necessary. Like, this might be like the S card, or like one of the S cards of this set. It's like really good because of how long Suicune and Greninja have been kind of meta, or like have been like in the meta for a while, and for how long like Greninja's been good since its debut in Genetic Apex. Yeah, like, this is a really good card. Like, it took so long for this card to come out. But anyway, we got, Metal Core Barrier. If this card is attached to one of your Pokemon, discard it at the end of your opponent's turn. The metal Pokemon this card is attached to takes negative 50 damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. So, with the Berserker, you could just keep using this again and again and again, So, it's pretty good. So, we got two really good tool cards. We got one to help out with metal Pokemon, and just one kind of in general to protect your bench a little bit, so that way you can ramp up. So if you're one of those people that uses one Pokemon in the active spot to kind of ramp energy up for your bench Pokemon, you attach Protective Poncho onto it, and it really helps. It helps to kind of not disturb the process too much. I mean, they could still use Sabrina or Repel or what have you, but they can't use Cyrus. They can't attack your Pokemon that you're trying to set up on the bench. They have to get into the active if they want to do something about it. So I think that this is a really important tool card. Alright, let's get into the supporters, shall we? By the way, Protective Poncho is also the other gold card, or the other crown, whatever you want to call it. I hope to be getting 2 of those. Very, very unlikely that'll happen, but I hope to get that. Alright, let's get into the supporters. Actually, let's use the full art. Just want to show those off. With Diantha, heal 90 damage from one of your psychic Pokemon that has 2 or more psychic energy attached, but you have to discard 2 psychic energy. Now, I imagine Diantha is going to get paired up with Mega Gardevoir to ramp up psychic energy, and, if there's, a Pokemon in trouble, but it has a lot of energy, that don't matter. You use Diantha to take care of it, and, to heal Pokemon. Heal 90 is huge. It is huge, okay? And I'll get into those stadiums near the end, but anyway, but spoiler alert, it pairs well with Peculiar Plaza to, so you can heal and then also retreat without spending as much psychic energy. Okay, but anyway, let's get into Sightseer. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck, put all stage 1 Pokemon you find there into your hand. Well, Sightseer, I mean, I will say, this is great if you're using Evolutions. Like, Sightseer would have been a great card to include when Eevee Grove came out. I feel like if Eevee Grove came out with Sightseer, oh my gosh, we would be seeing a lot more Evolution decks, or like you can start using Evolutions if that's kind of your thing. I know a lot of people were pairing Flareon and Leafeon EX. I think this would be a good card to throw in, or maybe you can, let me think here, like Jolteon EX, or, whatever kind of other, EXs, like, that are stage 1 in general. But, yeah, I think this is I think this is a really good card. I think. It's just, because it looks at the top 4, so that's a fifth of your deck. And if you already drew a few cards already, the chances of you getting more stage 1 Pokemon are actually kind of high, so I feel like this is also really good. Oh, it's also really good for, I was thinking Jolteon EX, but there have been people who have ran Jolteon EX and then regular Jolteon, so that's another kind of good use for it. So I think Sightseer, if you're running a stage 1 heavy kind of deck, I think this is a good card. Alright, let's get into Juggler. You can use this card only if your Pokemon in play have 3 more different types of energy attached. I'm really trying to I'm really trying to think, like, what could you be using? Like, this would have been great during that phase when people would try to use Ho-Oh-Lugia EX. This would have been great to include back then. But I think it's a little too late. I think this one kind of is bad. I think this one's kind of bad, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the other 3 supporter cards have some use. Juggler, I think that it's more like Joker. It's just like the Joker supporter card. Like, it's a joke. Yeah. Because, anyway. Also, it has 3 more different I mean, I'm trying to think how you can have 4 or 5, like, different types of energy. Whatever. Alright, let's move on. Pierre, is the S silent? I don't know. Pierre? I don't know. You could use this card only if Galarian Obstagoon in play. I talked about, if you can remember now, why I was not looking that card just really stood out, because I was like, wow, this card is going to be powerful, Galarian Obstagoon, because of the supporter card. Once they have Galarian Obstagoon in play, you could just discard 2 random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Just like that. That is going to be kind of annoying to deal with. And so I do worry that Galarian Obstagoon unironically could be part of the new meta, because it's also a Dark type, and Psychic type users I feel like are going to be running rampant. So naturally, maybe you'd want to use Galarian Obstagoon. I do need to look. Mega Gardevoir. Yep, it's weak to Dark. Kind of hoping it was weak to Metal and stuff. I don't know. Would I want that? I'm not too sure. So yeah. Galarian Obstagoon, I think low-key will be running rampant, especially if I mention this video. But granted, how many people are actually going to be watching this video? Probably not a lot, but I imagine if I watch other people's videos about this set, maybe they'll talk about it. We'll see. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I'm just not looking forward to it. Alright. Let's talk about the stadiums now, finally. The new kind of, what do you want to call it? The new subcategory of trainer cards. So we have the training area. Attacks used by stage 1 Pokemon in play do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Once again, evolution users are really happy right now. I mean, this could also apply to, like, let me think here off the top of my head, like the Gyarados or Mega Gyarados. let me think. What else is a good like stage one? I mean, if we're talking about just this set, like Alolan Ninetales. Why am I blanking? Why can I suddenly can't remember a lot of stage one Mons. I'm forgetting. I'm thinking of only basic and stage two. But you kind of get my point. It's gonna be a good. I think it'll be a good stadium. So, yeah. Now we got starting planes. Oh, also good for Alolan Raichu for the stage one. Sorry. You kind of get my point. I guess I could, since I'm on here, I literally could just do stage 1 EX Mega. Okay, yeah, so Mega Lopunny, Mega Steelix, all these. Oh, good for Mega Altaria. Sorry, I say that because I got Mega Altaria, or I got to Master Ball with Mega Altaria. So, yeah. Starmie. Oh, I miss Starmie. Yeah. So, if you're a fan of any of these Pokemon, then, you know, get the training area. Okay, let me focus on the other stadium. Sorry. Taking way too long. Alright, starting plays. Each basic in play, both yours and your opponents, gets 20 HP. So, this is... yeah, it's a good stadium. If you're like me, who sometimes runs an electric deck that is just a bunch of like basic Pokemon, that would be really good. If you're just running like, say, the Mega Mawile, or I'm trying to think what else, Skarmory, or something like that, you know, or I don't know, Mega Kangaskhan, just any kind of basic, or any kind of deck that uses strong basic Pokemon, you then add starting planes to it. Oh, like it's a really you know, like it's a really good card. Okay, and then we finally got Peculiar Plaza. The retreat cost of each psychic Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's, is 2 less. Yeah, that's gonna be a really good stadium card. It's a really good stadium. So. Yeah, I've been recording for so long, and I feel like I am feeling a bit tired just talking, and, you know, maybe I should have taken more breaks, but anyway, I guess the CNO cards we'll talk about. Protective Poncho, of course. Sightseer, I feel like it's going to be pretty good. Diantha, we got good, and Peculiar Plaza are really good psychic support cards that synergize well. Honestly, all the stadium cards, depending on what kind of deck you're using, I feel like they're all pretty good. Pretty much all those supporter cards, besides Juggler, pretty good. Lucky Ice Pup, I don't think we'll see it that much, but it's kind of funny and, like, you know, it could be kind of good. And, yeah, I mean, if you don't want to use a regular potion, then you could maybe use that. Maybe if you're... you know, only, I guess it could also be good for, like, if you don't plan to have a lot of Pokemon in play. So, again, like, maybe Mega Mawile, but also, like, maybe Mega Venusaur. Because usually you don't have a whole lot of Pokemon in play. So, Lucky Ice Pop, ironically, could help. I mean, granted, you probably would just be using other cards, but, like, you know, you can use Lucky Ice Pop and then use a supporter card, like a Lily, Erica, whatever. So... I feel like it's maybe not too bad of a, you know, card. It's different. It's kind of interesting. Let me think. Mega Gardevoir, of course, the regular one too. I guess Smelowada, just, you know, have it at the start to like search psychic Pokemon. Oops, I don't know what that was. Sorry. A little Raichu could be decent. Because you just need a stadium in play. And also, Alolan Raichu pairs well with the training area. And it can now do some damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So... or, no. Wait. No, it is 60. Never mind. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. Okay. And let me think what else. What is a good standout? I'd like to experiment with Alolan Ninetales. Maybe it might be okay. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna lie, not too much else from the water. I don't know. It's kind of... I don't know. Cramorant, maybe? I don't know. Just because you do... Or just any other Pokemon that can do damage to the bench. But that's kind of why they implemented the Protective Poncho. So yeah, the tools also stand out. Let's see, Fire. I mean, maybe Blastoise, maybe. Oricorio, maybe. Cinderace, maybe. Heartflame Mask Ogerpon, maybe. Two Mask Ogerpon, maybe. Yeah. Fighting, maybe Phalanx, again, maybe Pasmian, maybe the Machamp line, funny enough, a little Muck, for sure, Galarian Obstagoon, for sure, sorry, I gotta look at this, maybe Lola Meow, funny enough, Guzzler's gonna be fun. YouTube content. Maybe the Spiritomb. I'm talking about like standouts, like in a good way. Like these will, like you might be wanting to try to get these cards. Galarian Berserker, Mega Mawile. Salamence actually might not be too bad. Let me think here. Mega Kangaskhan, maybe. Regular one. I don't know. Maybe not. Slacking, maybe. This Furfrou, maybe. Mousehold, big, maybe. I need to kind of do little Mythbusters, like kind of testing that. Okay, I'm going to be sleeping soon, but I'm still excited for the set. I may not appear like it, but I promise you, I'm excited. It seems like I'm more excited for the stadiums and like most of the supporters and whatnot, Protective Poncho, things like that, than a lot of the actual Pokemon. I mean, I guess I'm the psychic, but anyway, like, I still think that there are some decent, at least one decent option from every type, so that's good. But I feel like they kind of do that on purpose, so that's good. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to comment down below what are your thoughts on this set. Feel free to critique or just respond to any comments I have with any specific cards as well. I'd like to hear and read all of your thoughts down below. Don't forget to share this video as well, and don't forget to click the subscribe button down below, and be sure to click the little notification bell next to the subscribe button so we can get notified every time I post a new video. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media links down below, and if you want to check out my channel or go subscribe in another way, you can click somewhere in the middle right here. All of my other Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket related videos are right here, and all of my TikToks, aka YouTube Shorts, are right here. And that's going to be the end of this video, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye!